Internets, welcome back to another episode of the Premium Pete Show. Finally sitting down with somebody I wanted to sit down a long time with. Okay, I can say a lot of things about this guy. Chef, okay, entrepreneur, okay, big teddy bear, okay, but he might crush you. You know, don't mess with him. Internets, the one and only Steve Martorano. Listen, it's
Thank
a pleasure.
You, Pete. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to sit down. You know, for a while. First of all, for people who don't know Steve Martorano, you're going to learn about him today. For people who do know, okay, I want them to learn a little bit more. When you think of Steve Martorano, right, and you think about coming out of Philly to where we are today, we're going to take him around the globe, and I feel like we're going to inspire a lot of people, you know? And I think sometimes you're going to realize how much you have done with your journey. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, when you're living your own life, you don't realize how special it's been. The fact that 30 years out here in Fort Lauderdale at Cafe Martorano's. Everybody has come. Shaq. I mean, I could keep on. I mean, name some of the people. You know.
Oh, we started out 30 years ago with Will Chamberlain, Dan Marino, Tony Bennett. When we went, just had 5 tables. Now we've done Steven Tyler to Sopranos to Chaz Palminteri to Kevin James to Al Pacino.
Sure.
I mean, forget it. It's everybody.
The reason I say that for is because it's a family. And what I mean by that, when they come here, you're getting that authentic. Listen, we're going to get to the restaurant part. What I want to do is I want to break down the journey of Steve Martorano. Born and raised in South Philly.
Born and raised in South Philadelphia, cuz.
And mom and dad grew up with mom and dad?
It was me, my mother, my father, and my grandmother.
No sisters?
No sisters, no brothers, no.
Right off the bat, how today, when you look back on it, how was it being an only child?
It was great because I learned to entertain myself. I learned to, you know, if you're going to have fun, you're going to play, say, with Army men or trucks, you learn to play, you know, by yourself.
Sure.
So it was like you didn't need a crew of people around you to have fun. And that's the way I lived my whole life, alone, you know, not surrounded by a lot of people.
You know, a lot of times we talk about family, particularly in Italian families. And Italian families are very loving and very get together. And sometimes it's like too much. Like, you know, if you actually are married or date a woman that is outside of Italian heritage, they'll probably get to a point where they get tired of going to these events all the time. You know,
100%.
You know,
they don't get it.
They don't get it.
They don't get it.
Because, listen, my mother, okay, will have an event on Friday night. Then Saturday, you eat the leftovers. Sunday, you're going to come over for dinner. And then Monday, they're doing a barbecue.
Absolutely.
I say, listen, Mom.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
I'll come every day. But it's, you know, when you think about family and your mother and father, here's the only thing I think about when we think about that age group. Who was their mother and father, and how much did they love up on them or show them? Because, you know, look, I love my mother and father, but they weren't the most, Mama was, but they weren't the most kind of, how you feeling? How you doing? You know?
Yeah, my father was that way. You know, he never really like, you know, he told me he loved me, you know, but you weren't getting those hugs. You wasn't getting those things like your mother gave you, right? Your mother always and the greatest thing was when your mother wouldn't call you your name, she would call you Mom.
Sure.
And your father would call you Dad, you know, and I did that when, you know, with Mikey. I said, like, you know, we'd call, come here, Dad, never his first name.
What was the fondest memory you would say of growing up with your mother and father? What would you know, do you remember like some memories of going places or Christmas or?
Because it was, like, you lived in a neighborhood and you didn't have much at all. Not much at all.
Actually, do me a favor. Break down South Philly for people at that time. Like, give them the smell, the understanding, the like.
Okay, we had. I lived on 28th and McKean in South Philly. A lot of Italians, Irish, Polish. Then we had the projects right across the street from us, right? Then I had my father's mother who lived on 7th and Fitzwater. That was like more Italian, but I didn't get it. I didn't understand that until The Godfather came out. When that Godfather movie came out, and I watched the screen, I said, that's my grandmother's neighborhood.
Sure.
That's how the smell. My mother, my grandmother were modern on my mother's side. My grandmother on my father's side was more authentic. I don't know, maybe that's not the right word, authentic. You know, but
yes, but more original, more, yeah.
But when I saw that movie, I just wanted to go to my grandmother's house and sit and smell, and because it was dark in my grandmother's house, you know. And then I started realizing what my family had, the respect in that town. So it just brought everything to life, and it was like, that's what I want. That's the way I want to live my life. It was a movie. But the idea of the movie and the respect is what I wanted. So I came from two different, so when I left my father's mother, when I came home, it was more modern, right? My mother's mother took numbers, okay? She did, she took numbers.
Classic.
Right, but our house was modern. Yeah, we had slip covers.
What did Dad do?
My father worked for his brother. We had a very big vending business.
Oh, nice.
John's Vending it was. And my father worked for his brother. And he was, you know, he'd lend money out, whatever he had to do. But But I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart. My father's paycheck was $166 a week. Now, think about that. I went to Catholic school. You got to pay for that, right? He had my mother and her mother living in the house. She had to take care of all of us. $166. He had to do something. My father was a saver, so he would save, and you know, he put some money out on the street. But I came from two different worlds. Not that I didn't love my modern world, which I did, but I loved that old school Italian, real Italian, and the neighborhood was that way.
When you know, I could hear it, and I know it, and I remember it. You know, you loved it so much that you become enthralled with it, right? You become a part of it, right? You become like
1,000%.
You know. Is it something that you wish you may have done something different? You know, you're one of the most heartfelt persons I ever met. I mean that. I've seen you on TV shows, you know, not afraid to show their emotions, not afraid to you know, listen, cuz I know, but it's real deal, cuz it's the real deal. And I will say this, you know, you think about, sometimes you'll say, like, you know, you got no education. Look how far you've come. But if you could have done something different, you ever think back you would have, like, took a moment? You ever think, like, you had a moment in Philly that you could have went right and you went left? You ever feel that? You ever felt that before? When you think back of your childhood?
I'm trying to make sure I understand the simplicity of your question.
Instead of getting involved in the street, maybe you could have done something else.
But I did.
Yeah. But you cook, yeah.
No, but if you said to me, what would you have done different?
Yes.
I would have studied and put my heart into school. That I would have done. Me, I couldn't care about school. I passed through high school without going to class, okay? So I never I used to live in the AVA room because at the time in the 70s, there was vouchers for gas. You remember when the gas shortage? Yeah. And my teachers knew who I was, and they would ask for favors, and I would go and ask, and they got it done. I never had to go to class, never. But I wish I did. So it was a stupid mistake. If anybody young out there is watching, go to school, cuz. Go to school.
At least, you know, I say this. Get an education or get a diploma. Sometimes I know people are thinking a diploma is different. I'll say get it just to have it. You never know, because, you know, at that age, what are you doing anyway? Right? You know, I told my daughter, like, you know, I didn't finish college. You know, I went to night school. I was working 2 jobs. You know, I didn't have a chance to finish it. But I'm blessed to be where I am today. Likewise, look at you. Somebody didn't finish school. 4 restaurants. 5 coming. Yeah. Well, actually, let's go over them. Martorano's. Right now, we're in the legendary over 30 years in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Pittsburgh just opened up in Rivers Casino,
which is an Italian steakhouse.
Which is and actually explain what that means.
As we grow, to keep opening this kind of restaurant, Martorano's, like in Fort Lauderdale, it takes a lot, and I needed something to simplify it a little bit. So every time I would go to a steakhouse, it would always be the same sides. I said, wait a minute, why can't I come here and get a steak with hot and sweet peppers? Why can't I order a steak and get an order linguine and clams? Why can't I? Well, I don't know. But I said, I'm going to do it, which we did. And Rivers Casino took us on for the first one.
Pittsburgh. Now, we also have Atlantic City.
At Harris.
Vegas.
Oh, Harris,
Listen, who the fuck this guy? You didn't finish school?
No,
Cuz, what are you talking about? You're in Vegas, Atlantic City, Pittsburgh, Fort Lauderdale, and now I mean, is this you? You kind of made some of this announcement. Are you finally coming home? What's going on?
There's a very strong possibility coming back to Philly with a casual concept called Joey's Italian Kitchen, which is named after my son who passed away.
Rest in peace.
2 years, and very casual. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to fulfill my son's his vision was to have something he loved, fast food, but good food.
Sandwiches, yep.
And there's a lot of people who can't afford what I'm doing here. And I said, well, what? Let's just make it so everybody can have a taste of Martorano's, right? So that's the idea. We'll keep it simple and less expensive. And you could just have a great meal, quality meal.
You know, a lot of times you say it's expensive, but you explain why. For people, no, I've heard you say this. And I heard, look.
But I'm proud of that. I'm not ashamed of that.
Exactly. Explain what I'm saying is explain to the people because the products, top notch, cuz.
When I say top notch, you can, if you came into my restaurant here in Fort Lauderdale, you can just look at the kitchen that's open and see the quality. What I use, nobody uses at home.
Wait, let's go over that actually, because being that it's food, it's just everything: entrepreneur, food, life. First of all, the macaroni you use is Gentile macaroni.
Gentile. It's the highest quality, longest drying Italian pasta that's in production today. As far as I'm concerned, 90% of people use homemade pasta. I get it, right? I get it. It's homemade. I don't really like homemade. Just don't like it. I like a bite to my pasta.
Sure.
And which we don't say pasta because we say macaroni.
Macaroni? Yeah.
Okay, so I like a bite to it and we cook it to order. Now, a lot of people say that, but they cook it in the morning and then they reheat it up.
Sure.
We do it to order. So if you order a rigatoni, it's 15 minutes. If you order a bucatini, it's 13 minutes. If you order a penny, it's 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
That's all timing that goes part of this brand. And we do that in all the Martoranos. We cook all the macaroni to order.
What about the guy from Boston? You get the, what's it called? The sausage, right?
Bianco's in look, I'm in South Florida because I love it. I can't find good sausage. We used to use Ferraro sausage in South Philly. They closed. As far as I was concerned, the only one closer to that was Bianco's and Son in Boston, and they ship it to us every week.
Even like the crab meat.
But no, wait, stay with me. This is Fort Lauderdale. You think 90% of people know who live here, not from New York or Boston,
sure.
know good quality sausage. But I do. So if you're going to eat a dish and you're going to say, no, this is really good. I had sausage yesterday over this joint. It wasn't as good as this. Because we take the time to get the best. That's the truth.
Because, listen, that's how you say it. That's how, listen, what I want to say is this. Made to order, macaroni. Nobody does that. I mean,
they say it,
they say it, but they don't do it. And one thing I learned, okay, from you and that just watching and internets, go to the Instagram, I think it's Steve_Martorano, or go to Cafe Martorano as well. One thing I love that you do, okay, you actually put me on. It's crazy to say, as Italians, sometimes like we're so stuck, we think we know it all. No, you can learn every day. And one thing I love that you do, I've got my clams. I want to give an example. You take the pasta, the macaroni, and you cook halfway. Put it in the skillet in the pan, and then you cook the rest there.
Who does cuts? Who you tell me? Listen. First of all, 90% of people don't know what al dente is. They think it was a waiter that I fired last week, right? Al dente is a reason for that. It's got to be firm.
Sure.
The Italians,
take a little bite.
They said they didn't have a lot of meat in Italy, right? So like they wanted some texture. Macaroni has to have a bite to it. So when people say it's too hard, I laugh at them. It's just what it is. This is how we make it. You don't like it, leave. That's it, real easy. But it's important because when I go out to dinner and I ask the waiter, I say, listen, I want to order this. Is this macaroni, is it cooked now? Oh, it's al dente. It's cooked to order. Listen to me, you. If it's not right, I'm only going to send it back.
Sure,
I'm going to order 10 macaronis.
Sure.
If they're not, I'm going to send it back. Then we're going to have an issue. And he says, well, they're cooked in the morning, al dente, and I don't want it.
It's mouchad.
Yes, mouchad.
Well, as I say, mouchad means it's like, soft, like mush. But I will say this. You are a person who has created so many great lines. Yo, cuz, okay? The new one that I keep on going with, who don't want to be Italian. I mean, keep on going on.
I don't even know. I did it when I was cooking, so on a video, right? And I said to myself, I'm so glad I'm Italian. I got Benjamin Agili in the background singing on the radio, and I'm cooking. I said, who don't want to be Italian? Think about it. The number one food in the world is Italian, so who don't want to be Italian?
it's a great cuisine. You know, you think about when you think about how people cook. You know, you got waiters, chefs, people here 20 plus years.
No. There's guys
give me the
working
highest.
for 27, and I'm here 30.
Is that crazy?
Think about it, cuz. And the other brother's here 20, 25 years. Who's here 18? I had a kid from Philly.
Cuz
40 years ago, still with me.
I've had a lot of restaurateurs on. You're more than a restaurateur, okay? People, you know, hear me out. How do you establish that? How do you have people? First of all, you built a brand that you have people working. Some people, they're in and out. They're not loyal. They're not treated right.
Well, that's cuz you have to treat people the way you want to be treated, but they must give you respect. If they disrespect you, I got told the other day, I got 4 back servers, been with me 10 years. And I set my station up here because I'm on the line every day. Now I said, find me a joint that you know where the owner is still cooking, not at the bar drinking, trying to pick up a broad at the table. He's in the kitchen cooking. You can watch him. He's not hidden. You can watch him. And they didn't set something up the way it was supposed to be set. We take a picture, we show them. This is the 5th time. For all 5 of them, I will fire each and every one of you. If I walk in here one more time and this ain't the way I want it, I'll close this place, open up back with 5 tables, rebuild it if I lose you guys. But I'll do that if you don't follow what I want. It's little details that make you successful. It's not the big picture that everybody sees. Listen, your house is clean? Move the couch. That's clean. If it's not moved, you're just clean outside. Yeah. It's like wiping your ass. You take a shower, you don't wipe your ass, you ain't clean. But it's the little details that are so important that people forget. All they want is this. This comes. If you really got passion in what you're doing, you care about what you're doing, you got to be like your guys. You got to be in the trenches with your guys.
You got to show them. And I think you inspire people. Believe it or not, again, you're a person like we spoke off here. You don't take compliments well. I don't mean that. I don't take compliments well. No, I know. But what I'm saying is, cuz it's inspiring. You know, you're saying it, but it's inspiring to go to work and see somebody. How do you expect to tell somebody to do something you won't do? Because
something's on the floor. I watch you walk past it once. I'll watch him walk past it twice. I grab both of them. Now watch me. I'm going to bend down and pick it up. Yep. If I see you walk past it again, you're fired. Now, I've given people chance after chance after chance. One thing I learned, I don't know about you guys out there, once you get rid of somebody, the chances of them, you curse on this?
Anything you want.
They're going to fuck up again and again, stick it up your ass and get it again. Once you get rid of them and don't look back. That's the truth.
There we go. That's a gem from the one and only Steve Martorano. You know, we spoke about mom and dad. Spoke about what dad did. Was mom a stay-at-home mom?
My mother stood at home, and my grandmother worked. Guess what my grandmother did? She worked for her son making slipcovers. My house has so much slipcovers. I had the runners. I didn't even know what...
These guys were entrepreneurs at your house.
Think about
it.
Yeah, yes.
We didn't use the word at the time.
Right.
Think about it. You know, again, this is why I say you were in a good system. You were inspired. You've seen this. No, you don't. What the fuck did you... They were doing whatever they had to do.
Right. Because I had a school bag made of slipcovers. Where you put your books in, you could see it. But my grandmother made it for me, so I had to go buy one. You
know, obviously, the Martorano family, especially in Philly, and we'll get fully to them. You know, they have done a lot of different things, businesses and stuff. You know, when you think about mom and dad particularly, when did dad pass away?
He was 54.
And how old were you? How many years ago was that?
My father died 2 weeks before I got married. 2 weeks before I got married on my first marriage. 2 weeks. I looked at that cloud. I said, come on. Does that mean I'm not supposed to get married? What happened here? How could you do this? That was the first dark thing in my life. But anyway, he died.
It's sad.
He just went to bed, never woke up. And
rest in peace.
That's how I started my first marriage.
When you think back of dad, do you?
My father was my father was the guy. My cousins used to say, Joe don't care if butter goes up $300. He didn't care. My father was like, I don't care. Wherever
it is, butter, he's gonna buy it.
No, I'm just saying, I want to buy it, right? You need gas, I want to buy it. My father put his family before him, especially his brothers. He put them before himself. But he was a worker. So I think that where I got that instilled. My father, you know, he got up every morning and went to work. My father never took a vacation. If he did, he went for 10 days to go hunting in the woods to get away from everybody. That was it. Never took a vacation, never went anything special. So I watched my father work, and I used to say, I don't want to be like that. I want to be smarter than that. I don't want to be a laborer. It's not what I wanted to do, you know? But the way life goes, things that you didn't like about your parents, you wind up becoming like them.
Yeah. You ever hear them?
All the time. Right?
You ever hear them when you say something? You know, another thing, too, when you think about dad, and that's special, but even mom. You know, mom lived longer than dad. You know, and you think about Martorano's. Were you ever able to show her some of your success?
My mother was a tough broad. My mother, she was tough. You know, I would say, my first TV show was Tony Danza's show.
Yeah.
And Tony Sirico got me.
The legend.
There, right? And as soon as I got off the phone, I'm on the phone in New York. I call my mother, Ma, I look fat. Ma, no, you look good. Ma, I look fat. No, you look good. So when I got home, I said to her again, Ma, I look fat. Well, you could have wore a different shirt than a striped shirt. I said, Ma, all right. But
now you say.
Now you tell me. Now, so I didn't want to bother you. But she was there from the beginning when I was making sandwiches in her basement. And she would answer the phone, and she would, like, you know your washing machine? I know, the old days, they had a hose going in there.
Yeah.
Well, my mother would do my pots. She would clean I had a 4-burner stove, and so she was part of that. So
well, break that down. I want you to actually tell people. So you were selling sandwiches. How old were you? Door to door. Listen, the hustle. Listen, internet. You're going to take a lot of things from this episode. The one thing I want you to take is the hustle, what it takes to make it. Okay? It's not fucking easy. You know, you think about it. This is why I tell you, you're living your own life. You don't realize how inspiring it is. You went from door to door. Hold on. Knocking or selling sandwiches. How much? $5? Cuz 30 years later, we're in Lauderdale. I'm going to say it again. We got Martorano's in Vegas, Martorano's in Pittsburgh, Martorano's in Atlantic City. A couple other things coming. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, and you
but
should.
There was no dream.
I know.
You see, a lot of people go, "Oh, I had this vision, I had this dream, I had this goal." There's nothing wrong with that. To me, you better have a B plan anyway, right? But I had no B plan. I had a choice in my life to go right or left. When I made that choice, still had no money. I didn't have a facility to go do a business. Couldn't go borrow any money. I had no credit. Let's try. Just got in my head. Let's get flyers. Go put it on people's mailboxes, put it on the cars, pass it by myself. Get up in the morning, go pass them out myself with just a phone number.
What type of sandwiches? What type of sandwiches?
The first ones were chicken cutlets and broccoli rabe. I had chicken cutlet with mayo, tomato, and lettuce. Salads and peppers. Oh, but I had great bread. I used to get
sarcones.
Sarcones, the fucking.
Hold on, listen.
Best.
I'm a Brooklyn guy.
Best.
But let me explain something to you.
Boy.
Sarcones Bakery. First of all, so 100 and plus. I didn't even know. First of all, I've been in there. I seen in the back. I'm friends with Danny from Angelo's. He's married to the daughter. First of all, Angelo's on South 9th Street, right next to Sarcones. This guy's a fucking incredible.
Great. I'm good. Great.
Okay, and he's a great guy.
Great.
Okay, but that's like his in-laws or whatever. But anyway, I went in the back. Look, there's 100 plus here. I mean, the fucking things are 20, 30 feet deep that they cook their bread in. So door to door, Sarcones. But here's the thing that I want to tell people, and this is what happens in entrepreneurship. You could have got stuck selling sandwiches for 30 years. I'm just saying. People think like, you go work a job, they say, well, I really want to become a chef one day, so I'm going to save enough money over here. You could stay in that job for 40 years and never become 100%. A fucking chef.
100%.
Because how did you get out of the Philly? How did you get out of going door to door? How did you elevate?
When I growing up, I wanted to be part of something. And to be part of something, I had family that was part of something. So I love my Uncle Raymond. Loved him to death. And I might say I loved him maybe as much as I love my own father. And this might not sound right, maybe even a little more. That's how much love and respect I had for this man.
Mr. Raymond Long John Martorano.
Yeah. And he was what he was, very close to Mr. Bruno, very close.
Forbes. What about Forbes? Remember?
Forbes magazine, because me and my uncle.
What are we talking about?
I don't want to say the name.
Yeah.
But one of the richest guys. But anyway, I had an opportunity, but there's the story before the sandwiches.
Yeah.
I did that for 5 years, and no electric bill, no gas bill, no rent. Right, my mother paid for all that stuff. I used to make $500 a week. That was my profit, $500 a week. So I was married, and I had my first son Joey. My first wife worked at a bank, so she had a little income coming in. So I did that for 5 years. And then I got married. My mother says, your father still would want you to get married. It was a very crying marriage. It wasn't a happy marriage. So we wind up going to Bahamas for 10 days, right? So I come home. I said, Mom, what are you telling people? I'm closed. People call and say, you're closed. Steve, they're telling me to make sandwiches. I'm telling them you got married. You're on vacation.
He's not here no more.
Honeymoon. I'm not making you no sandwiches. You know, you had the call waiting when your mother was talking to her sister-in-law. Call waiting, hold on.
Yeah.
Hello, is that Steve's Italian Kitchen? Yeah, but we're closed. What do you mean you're closed? Can't you make me something? No, you can't make you something. This would go on. So before you know it, I saved up a little bit of money, and I opened up another takeout place in a Jewish neighborhood in Northeast Philly. Now, you had South Philly, which had a lot of Italians, a lot of Irish, a lot of Polish. You had North Philly, had a lot of black people, and Southwest Philly, a lot of Irish too. Northeast, you had a lot of Jews. And what's the truth? The Jews are the ones that keep Italian
Sure.
restaurants in business,
Sure.
right? They go out to dinner. So in my mind, my first wife lived in Northeast Philly. She took me to this one joint. I said, "Are you nuts? This ain't fucking. Get out of here." I said, "I'm gonna take you home and get you something." So I opened up something there, but it was a mistake because everything was like $6.95, soup, salad, and dessert. My quality of food I couldn't do that, and I did it for like 4 or 5 years, and I just lost everything. But in the meantime, my uncle is away, but he's coming home. So he calls for me, so I go visit him, and he says, when I come home, I need you to drive me around. I want you to drive. I said, Uncle, listen, I've been out of this for a while. I just want to go to work, pay bills. So I want to do. I need you next to me. I looked at him, and that's what I did. I said, okay, you're coming home. He didn't come home then. I'm saying, well, this ain't working out. So it's when I came to Florida. Then he come home. I was already into this here.
Thank God.
Right? Thank God, right? Because who knows where I said, if there's a story here, it's another story, whatever. If I did, I'd be dead or in jail. That's the bottom line, okay? I accept that. I accept that, though.
Yeah.
I accept it. I know that's what it is. But never in a million years was this situation here ever a dream or a goal. It was to get up, go to work, and pay bills. That's all it was. No music, no nightclub, this had 5 tables, 1 stove. I had a little speaker to listen to my Philly music, 1 TV watching movies that I liked when I was slow, and I was the only cook and 1 dishwasher. That's where this came from. As it grew, the vision came.
Sure, and you became more insightful with
Absolutely.
it. And more,
Absolutely. Listen,
the journey is crazy. You know what? Let's take a quick break. We're sitting here with the one and only, the entrepreneur, the chef, the Goodfella. Okay, yo, cuz, who don't want to be Italian?
Who don't want to be Italian?
The one and only Steve Martorano. Go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Armando Sante. It is my great pleasure today to be on the Premium Pete Show, to be being interviewed by the legendary Pete Gibraltar. I hope you enjoy it as much as I will.
Internets, and we're back. My friend, the one and only Steve Martorano. Listen, off air, you were telling a story that really, to me, defined your life, defined your career.
There's nothing else than that.
Break that story down. You know, when you were talking about your uncle and yeah.
So I'm in Philly. We opened up, lost it all. The Iraqi war in the 80s when that shit had real estate plummeted. Couldn't make any money. So I had 2 choices. 1, go on the street. 2, go on the street. That were my only 2 choices. I had a very close dear friend of mine named Ray Abruzzi from South Philly. Was a ball player. Went to Alabama, played for the Jets. Was very close to Joe Namath. They were partners. They had joints in New York called the Bachelor's 3. And he had a Bachelor's 3 here in Fort Lauderdale and Mr. Pip. So I've been to Fort Lauderdale for about 2 or 3 days, 3 times in my life. So I called Ray, how you doing? He said, how you doing? I said, I'm going back on the street. He goes, fuck you, what are you doing that for? You got your cook. I I lost everything. He says, well, you got to come to Florida. Come to Florida. You'll do great here. There's no places to eat in Florida. Now, I got kids, so I got to say to myself, I got kids, they got to go to school. So I tell my first wife, I says, where are they going to go to school at? She goes, they're going to go to Coral Springs. I have a friend of mine that lives in Coral Springs, and they got some kids. We'll go check that out, and you go look for a joint. Okay? I go. We stay for 3 days. They're taking me to pizzerias, Italian restaurants. Everybody's in bed 9, 10 o'clock. 9, 10 o'clock. I kick her under the thing. I said, where the fuck you got me at? That's just not where I want to be. It's not for me. I'm going back home. She said, you sure? I said, yes. The next day, we're leaving to go to Philly, never to come back to Florida. It wasn't in my, didn't think about it. Yeah, I loved the weather. It was great. Coral Springs just wasn't for me and my business. Why I didn't call that guy Ray, why I didn't call my uncle just to say I'm here, I didn't do it. I don't know if my mind was just working on, like, let's get my family situated.
Sure.
But I called him the day I'm leaving. He goes, where are you? I says, I'm in Florida. Florida? Where? I said, I'm in Coral Springs. These exact words. When are you going to stop being a South Philly jerk-off? You got to come to Fort Lauderdale. I said, I got 2 kids. Well, so what's the big deal? You go to school, live in Coral Springs, go back and forth to Fort Lauderdale. It's an hour back. I said, I ain't got time. We're going to the airport. Forget about it, right?
When you say you're going to the airport, you're going home.
Going back home, never to come back here. Because I'm not coming. Why would I come back here? Just for vacation. He says, I got this little place across the street. I know it's for sale. There's no signs, got 5 tables. I ain't got time, Ray. I don't want to be late for this airport. I got these 2 kids, they're crying as it is. Just do me that favor. I said, I can't. As I'm driving from Coral Springs to here, he's blowing my phone up. Please, just go look at this. All right, Ray, 2 minutes, I'm gonna go look at it. I pull into this parking lot, cuz there's a pink awning. What the fuck? Pink or not there's anything wrong with pink. I like to wear pink. So not everybody could wear pink, but I like wearing pink sometimes. I look in the window, there's 5 tables. I could see a pizza oven and a stove. I said, this is for me. Can you imagine? I don't answer the phone. I get on the plane. I don't come back here. My life's completely different. True story.
You know, it's crazy to me that again, where we are today and how that moment, you know, and thanks to Uncle Raymond, man. I mean, rest in peace to, the legend. I mean, you know, look, people can say whatever, you know, they want to say. I mean, this guy, you know, Forbes magazine.
Know how to make money. You know how to make money.
Yeah,
That's it. Know how to make
stand-up
money.
guy, too. Rest in peace. You know, we were talking about it before, but Yo Cuz. It's one of the biggest things. Everybody got hats, Yo Cuz. Everybody can say, hey, Yo Cuz. Now, I know in neighborhood, Mo, Cuz.
Me, Cuz. Did you get that from me, or all your life did you use that?
We always use neighborhood. Meaning, you know what's funny, too? For some reason, as an Italian, and I never really said this, even if it was other friends, I would tell people they're my cousin. If I was doing, you know, if I loved them that much, and if I wanted to do something with them. Didn't matter who they were. I would tell people, say, I don't know if I could pass for your cousin. You're my cousin. And I would tell them, listen, it's just me and my cousins. And when, you know, I remember the first time I heard you say, Yo Cuz. But you have made it a vocabulary. Anything you fucking do.
Amazing. It's still amazing.
I gotta go to the bathroom, Cuz.
Cuz, but it's still.
I don't drive the Ferrari, Cuz.
Right.
You know? Is it al dente, Cuz?
No, listen, or I don't remember your cameraman's name, right? Sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah.
I see him tomorrow and I don't remember his name.
Create visuals.
Isn't it better to say, I'm sorry, I forget your name again, or say, oh, Cuz, how you doing? We already got a thing going on, right? But your own cousins, you never would say, Carol, Dolores, George, you would say, Cuz, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
That's just what it was. But I own that. I own the Yo Cuz.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Listen, I love hearing things like that when you say I own that. There's a guy, you know, it's funny, in the streetwear, like sneaker culture type stuff. There's a guy named
Jeff. We got to do Yo Cuz sneaker.
Yeah, of course. I'm on that. But listen, Cuz, there's a guy named Jeff Staple, and he has a pigeon. That's his logo, the pigeon. It's called Staple. Right? It's been out for 15 years. The guy has done very well for himself. He put a sneaker out. There was a ride over. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is he trademarked pigeon shit.
Wow.
So when you see the splat, so his hat has a staple in the back. It has a shit. He owns a trademark. So anyway, I love hearing stories like that. I love people who make LLCs after things, like meaning they open a business. Like just say if it was like, I'm making this up, but like Raymond's the best LLC. You made that because this is the guy at the time that told you to do it. So you made it in from, or you make like your kids' names LLC. I love shit like that, man. And I love trademark stuff like that. So yo, cuz, listen, it's a beautiful thing. You're moving around, a lot of hardships, a lot of dark times. You lost your father.
Lost my mother.
How far along?
My mother's 4 years. My son's 2 years.
You get married. You lost your dad.
2 weeks.
How do you stay married? Like without how do you you walked into like I don't mean this verse to her, but you walked into like a disaster. Your mind is not right. How do you and this ain't only for that,
Well,
but
no, there's something else to the story. Listen, I loved my first wife. When I met my first wife, cause she her mother had just died of cancer. Right? That's how I meet her. Never met the mother. As I'm dating, the father dies of a heart attack. That's two. A period of time after, like a year or so after, her brother dies in a house fire. Now, this girl's family's gone. Not that I love her, I loved her. I go home. You know what my father says to me? You got to do the right thing. I'm 26. Everybody got married at 26. As far as I'm concerned, you really shouldn't get married till you're 32 or 33. That's just me.
Any reason why you say that? So you get a little bit more time?
I think time, people change. They're not the same. And then they wind up people stay together for the kids.
Yep.
That you ain't got no life. They ain't got no life.
Yep.
You wind up cheating. You wind up doing stupid things that you're not proud of. Because I'm not proud of a lot of shit I did in my life. But you got to wait. But when I grew up, you had to be 26, 25. That's how your mother got married. Your father got married. It was just get married. And you got married for what reason? You didn't get married because you loved her. You got married to have kids.
Sure.
Because your mother wanted grandchildren. Your father wanted grandchildren.
Sure.
You got married. So
was there a lot of nice envelopes at the wedding?
Questionable. Some Italians ain't got. Some Italians give you a toaster.
Maniscalski, I'll tell you.
Wait. It was $55 a head. I think. One envelope. I got $5. $5.
Because Maniscalski, the comedian Sebastian, he has this this thing where he talks about Italians. They're such very judgmental people. I mean, they go there. They got 200 in the card for the wedding. Chicken palms dry. Right. Take 50 out.
No, cuz don't. It's just like what I said to you. $5 for a wedding. It ain't like Goodfella where you got all those.
Did they mark it in the?
No. But
Italians have that book. My mother knows exactly what somebody gave when someone got married. I say, Ma, that was 20 years ago. Price goes up.
Right.
But they don't know that. Listen. Throughout everything, food became your life. Food is a way of life. One thing I love about growing up in an Italian family, big family, everything's food, feed, eat. But food is a way of life. Food is a way of conversation. Food is a way of connecting.
The whole world is based upon a table.
Yeah.
People sit
around. Break that down.
Well, we live in two different worlds now. I see it. First of all, I see it here. I see kids on their phone with their parents that are having a conversation. They don't want to be bothered. They want to drink, enjoy themselves. The kids entertain themselves. Now, when I grew up, if you couldn't leave that table until you were done, and you had a conversation. How was your day? Any problems you have? Your mother would tell the father what things that were going on. There was a conversation. The art of conversation is not around no more. That's why we're in the position we are today. There is no conversation.
Sure.
That's one thing I think that the Italians are still trying to hold on to. There are still some that want to have this, but we're living a whole new world, and it's a sad world that we live in now.
Sure.
It's sad.
What's the hardest, and this is like one of those questions but what's the hardest thing about being a restaurant owner? What would you say some of the hardest things that took you to overcome?
Which I'm still overcoming. I'm only as good as the last meal that I make. I cooked for a guy for 10 years, and I didn't see him for a year. Comes in, hey Steve, how you doing? How am I doing? I'm good. How we have been? Steve, I came in here, you know, I had the veal Martorano. Peppers were a little burnt. What?
See, nobody
So
says
what?
anything, you know?
Peppers were a little burnt. You've been coming for 10 years. You had a good meal. The one meal you didn't like, you stopped coming for a year because peppers weren't burnt. Think about that. Think about you're judged. Every time you put something out, you're judged. And in this business, there's no real reward. It's always trying to please that next person. And, okay, how difficult is it for someone to say thank you? Just say thank you. Not difficult. That's not hard. Everybody that walks into this restaurant, I don't care who you are, 1 person, 2, or 10, I send food, free food, over to their table as a gift that you walk into my house. There's a high percentage of people don't even say thank you. Don't even. What do you do? My Catholic roots say to me, why are you doing it? Are you doing it to get a thank you, or you're doing it because out of your heart you want to do it?
Both.
Both. Really, both. But my conscience would say, well, Steve, then don't do it. No, Steve, you got to do it because that's what you do. And if they don't say thank you, fuck it. But there are people that do say thank you and it's appreciated. They're the ones that overcome that mother issues that you have. That's the sad part. That's really the sad part.
You know, another thing, we breezed over it, but some of your employees, we said 27 years. You know, that's a problem for restaurant owners. Getting people to work, getting people to stay with you. I mean, look, a restaurant, but listen, you could come in tomorrow and all of a sudden this one he hurt his leg. This one, you know what I mean? I'm sure you heard it all.
Yeah, that happens. But you know what the problem is? It's the restaurant owner. It's the big corporate, and I don't want to say names, big corporate. Okay. They don't want to pay. I just put $100,000 fucking chandelier with a $200,000 painting on the fucking wall. I'm gonna pay the guy that's breaking his balls over here $15 an hour. He's got a wife and 2 fucking kids. Tell me, how's that work? How does that justify? You want to? I got a Ferrari. I worked my balls off for that Ferrari. Everybody here all own a house. One guy, Ariel Benitez's son, just graduated from Boston architect store.
Okay.
What's the number 1 in Boston?
Brown maybe?
I don't know, but it's the number 1 in Boston. An immigrant came from El Salvador.
The sausage. They got number 1 sausage over there, cuz.
Boston, yeah, I know. I love Boston. I love Boston. I love Nicky.
Not the Red Sox.
No, I don't follow baseball. But anyway, the point is they put all their money into what this shit is, but they don't pay the help. Even the big restaurants, big corporate, they want all the shit. They want to get it all. They want to pay a guy $15, $16 an hour. How do you expect a guy to get ahead? How do you expect him to break his balls for you? Yeah, I'm gonna pull up on a Ferrari, walk in. Everybody okay? And everybody's taking a bicycle fucking home. Everybody's taking a bike home? I'm a grown man taking a bike home? No. You work with me, you're going to get paid good money. Now, if I'm a partner with something and something else, that's another laws that you got to deal with, right? Because it's corporate. But this motherfucker's mine. My guys make great money. Great money.
Because that's you know, you're one of a kind, man. I'm proud to know you. You know, the journey, man, is special, man. The journey is...
It ain't over. It ain't over.
I know. You know, God in your life. God in your life.
Biggest sinner you ever saw in your life is sitting right on your left-hand side, cuz.
You know, with everything you've been through, Steve, I mean this, you know, with everything you've been through. And, you know, I've had my days of dark times. And sometimes I always say confusing. Sometimes I say dark, cloudy.
I'll tell you what. Lose a son. You see how fucking dark. See how dark your life is. When you gotta get up in the fucking morning and still go to work for no purpose.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a fucking purpose. I don't have a purpose to get up and go to work because I can't leave it to fucking nobody. That's God and His love. I don't deserve His love. He died on that cross so I could live. I'm still the biggest sinner in the world. But those dark moments and dark days that you can't get through it, look at me, that you can't get through it, and you sit and you pray and you don't hear shit. You just gotta get deep down inside and it lifts you up to say, what else do you know what to do but move forward? I don't know. And then God comes in and he quiets you down. It's going to be all day. It's going to be all right. A close friend of mine says the sun shines in the morning. So when you go to bed and you're like, you don't think I wanted to do this? My son, my firstborn, you don't think I wanted to put a gun to my motherfucking head? But guess what? I ain't a coward. I ain't a punk. I got to worry about, it's easy for me, but everybody around me suffers because I killed myself. Tell me, that's a punk way out. So I put the gun down, said a prayer, say my rosaries every day, and you get through it, guys. You want to talk about my son or my mother?
Listen.
That's what it is.
No. Listen.
So,
Listen, I also want to say, too, he's your angel. What you do, cuz, listen, I don't think, forget about food for a second. What you do is you're taking care of people. That's your purpose.
You're right.
That's your purpose.
That's my purpose now, to take care of people.
Yeah. And as tough as it is and the tears, you're a strong man for it. It has made you a better person. Listen, people feel it. I tell you, what's his name from Atlantic City? Lou said, Steve Martorano's in Atlantic City. Everybody comes out. Steve Martorano's in Vegas. People coming out. People love you for you because you're real. And they want to help with the pain you feel too.
I know they do, right? But you know what it's like when you work every day and you're in an open kitchen and you just want to get through the day, and every day they're trying to be nice. Heard about your son. What happened? I don't talk about it. Heard about your son. You're in my now. How do you continue to cook and continue to talk to people, put on a smile on your face when that happens every day? But you're right. What doesn't kill you will make you stronger, right? So, yeah, he is my angel. I believe that with all my heart. I will see him again. That's why Joey's Italian Kitchen Pasta Pizza is coming. Casual for the whole country to enjoy.
It's going to be beautiful.
But that was the name of my joint. When I started out of basement, Steve's Italian Kitchen. So I put Joey's Italian Kitchen, right? So
it's going to be, listen, I look forward to it. I think people are going to, listen, I think we're in a day and age where people are going to eat that up, It's simple, it's affordable.
Yes, simple, affordable.
It's authentic.
Authentic, and the quality will not get cut.
Guys, you're making me cry, cuz. You're making me cry,
Yeah.
I really, I mean this, I admire you as a person.
See, people don't know me, right? You know my reputation in Fort Lauderdale really is with people that live here? It's like, who's he think he is? Why has he got tattoos? Why does he drive around in a car? Why? And they don't know me. See, I'm not... people judge you really quick, but yet they don't know you. There was an old timer here a week ago. Listen to this, an old timer. I see him, I say hello, I never really talk to him. I would hear things that he would say, not hurtful things, just like, well, who's he think he is, whatever. I parked the car, got a coffee, I sat down with him. It was one of the greatest conversations that we had. And he looks at me and goes, Steve, how come I didn't know this about you? Like, my perception was, well, don't judge. Don't judge somebody unless you get to know them, That's true. Wait. I got to talk about one thing, though.
Of course.
It's my, I have 17 years. I have a new life.
Pellegrino.
A new wife. Pellegrino. All the Martoranos carry it.
17 years.
17 years. I met a Jamaican girl. Think about that. Italian. Mar.
Love you, Mar.
Her name's Marsha, but Mar. And if it wasn't for her, maybe this could have happened, because she kept me grounded, and my son loved her with all his heart, and she's the rock to this whole business. She's the one that keeps me going when I'm down, lifts me up when I'm down, prays for me when I need it. She's been my best friend, my wife. She's my life, everything. So my point is, Sinatra said, love is greatest the second time around, right? And that's this. I don't love no other person than this woman. Ma, I love you, kid.
I love your relationship with her too. And I love particularly, you're an old school Italian guy. Right? You transcended, but you're an old school Italian guy. And look, some uncles or cousins or older people may have not approved many years ago of you dating a Jamaican woman. You know, I tell people all the time. People ask me, listen, my daughter's mother, 21 years old, Puerto Rican, you know.
So you got to see with one eye open too.
Yeah, absolutely. My lady now, Trini, my son's 6 years old. They're from Trinidad. Let me tell you something. People always say, how did your family react to that? I say, listen, both of my sisters are gay. My father, let me tell you what a fucking guy he was. They had a real marriage. He invited all the people from his work. Wasn't embarrassed. But I knew he could have been in my mind. This guy could have did that.
Well, let me tell you. You want to know something?
Yeah.
You love your mother?
I love her to death.
Would you die for your mother?
I would die for her.
You'd take your life for your mother.
Absolutely.
I love my mother 1,000 times more than you love your mother. So how much more do you really love your mother? You love her a lot, and I love mine 1,000 times more. When she heard I was dating a Jamaican girl. Now, my mother died. She was 86 years old. Old school. You know what I mean by old school language, what they called each other, whatever. I looked at my mother with as much love in my heart that I could have given anybody. It's my mother. I would die for her. You ever call her that again, Mom? I'll never speak to you again. I walked out the room. The next day we were going to Vegas. My mother came, Marsha was there, but Marsha never met my mother there. After the meeting of the two, my mother was a great judge of character. This is perfect for you. Just like that. True story, Gus. True story. And am I ashamed of why I spoke to my mother like that? Of course I'm ashamed of how I spoke to her. But it was her generation. She didn't know no better. She didn't know a different word. She didn't know what else to say.
Well, listen, you know, you got to go against the grain. You got to go against the grain. You know, you got to break the chains. You got to, you know, listen. Look, I want to be honest. I've told this story plenty of times, too, okay? I grew up in Coney Island, okay? I moved over to Bensonhurst. I remember playing Sega. I had friends. They says, you can't have these friends over here. I said, what friends? This is Ishmael. This is my other friend. Kids I grew up with. What do you mean friends can't come here? So you got to break the chains. You know, that's what I love that I did, right?
When I went to high school, it was a mix of everybody. We had the blacks, you have the whites. And I remember this. I saw this one big black kid named Cheesy. I know he's going to play football like me. I walked right over to him. I said, right into his crowd. I walked over to him. I says, my name is Steve Martorano. What's yours? They call me Cheesy. How you doing, Cheesy? He said, what are you doing for lunch? What are you doing for lunch? I lived around the corner from Bishop Newman. I says, I want to take you home for lunch. Because in my head, we got to become friends here. If not, we're just going to be fighting each other, right?
Sure.
As I'm taking them in my neighborhood, neighbors with the door like this, like, what's going on? What's this black guy doing in our neighborhood? Lived across the street from the projects, but they never came in from the projects. They stayed there, we stayed there. We didn't go in there to come out. My mother saw us coming. She opened the door. My mother said, you're here for lunch. Anybody else coming? And I said, no, come on in. She embraced that kid. Fed him more than one time.
Well, also because of, you know, when you have what you grow up around, the uncles, the grandfathers, what is explained. And I think when you take it for face value, you see more sunshine. Right. You know? Listen, the journey has been incredible. You know, you think about, but I do want to say, you talk about how much you love Ma. How do you, with everything you go through, right? And I want to be honest with you, you're an old school guy. So what I mean by that, you're the type of guy, you may cut your thumb, you put a fucking masking tape. Go to the fucking emergency room. Nah, whatever.
Just did it, guys.
Okay. Here's what I'm saying, the reason I'm saying that. Have you ever thought about, you know, even going to therapy just to talk to someone of everything you go through? Because how do you, with everything you had happen in your life, when it's just you, how the fuck do you deal with that? And how do you still be a husband? How do you be a good businessman? You know, look, you could be mad at the world, cuz. You could wake up every fucking morning. You could lose your mind. You could go fight somebody right now, go to jail for 10 fucking years, lose everything.
I did that yesterday. It's stupid, but I did it yesterday. So my point is,
you know, there's people that deal with a lot of stuff right now that may be listening. You know, what would be some of your advice, I guess? That's what I'm saying.
But see, because you just said it, I'm an old school Italian guy, right? So it's not easy. Okay, it's not easy. Just put your whole fucking life out on. So you're my therapist today, right? So I had a good day with you. I let things out maybe was inside me, right? So I know today is going to be a good day. Do I believe in therapy? I do. I think it does work. Is it for me? I believe in prayer more than anything in this world. I think if it was a point where I got solitude, I was not coming to work and not dealing with people, I think, yeah, I need to go speak to somebody. There are times, and I said to myself, I should go speak to somebody. But I do have a deep prayer life. Again, I don't know if that's the right thing or not the right thing, but I know that if you do need help, if somebody needs help and you don't have that prayer life or somebody to really go talk to, you need to reach out and just let it out. It isn't what it's not what he's going to tell me. It's what you let out that's just been keeping up inside you for a very long time. That's the way I see it.
Hey, listen, you got to get it out, cuz.
Got to get it out. If it eats you up, it wins.
You know, let's take the time now to go over some of your favorite dishes, particularly some of the most amazing dishes at Martorano's. First of all, I want to thank you for making me a bucatini lover. Now, for those who don't know, that's a macaroni or a pasta, however you want to call it. I love linguine. I love spaghetti. You know, I love farfalle. I love, I love, what do you say, orecchiette. You know, but bucatini.
It's a Sicilian macaroni. Sicilian macaroni, bucatini.
It's a special thing.
But we grew up calling it percatelli. And now it's bucatini. That's one of my favorites.
Give me some dishes. Some of your favorites.
If me and you were coming to here, I was bringing you here for the first time.
Yep.
This is now somebody else's joint, but I know it. As soon as we sat down, we said we got to get the meatball and salad. Now, I brought the meatball and salad. That was what? When you had dinner on Sunday, you never had that for an app. That was after your macaroni. Your mother brought out the braciole, she brought out the sausage, the meatballs, and a big salad. Is that the way you ate your mac? That's how I did.
Yeah.
Okay. I said, why don't we do the meatball and salad as the appetizer? Now, I did that 40 years ago. You know how many restaurants have copied the meatball and salad? But they can't copy this. On the Food Network, a year ago, there was a show called Best Thing I Ever Ate. And Jeffrey Zakarian, the chef, best meatball he ever had. Gourmet Magazine gave us the best meatball in the world. My point is, the way I cook my meatball, make my meatball, is just the way my grandmother did. You talked about pots and pans in the same frying pan that my grandmother did.
And that's what makes it good. You know, we can't do this episode without having this conversation because, you know, as much admiration, respect and love I have for you, we have to explain the breakdown of sauce and gravy. And I just want to say what I feel, and then you tell me if I'm right, because we never had, you know, growing up, right? My grandmother would call it gravy when she would, you know,
say turkey.
No, she would put braciole in the pot, meatballs in the pot, spare ribs in the pot.
It's a touchdown. I got somebody from New York says that.
Now it's fucking
Yes,
gravy.
you get
or
that,
else
right?
it's a sauce.
It's a sauce. Clam sauce.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's just what marinara sauce.
Yeah.
I like the word
Yeah,
sauce. But it doesn't. Listen, people want to fight me. No, they want to.
The Philly guys, listen, the Philly guys are so serious about this gravy. As a Brooklynite, I say, holy shit, you're right. They want to fucking argue.
They want to argue over it. I don't give a fuck
what the fuck's the matter with you? It's
If
gravy or
good,
sauce. Yeah.
If your mother makes a good sauce, I don't give a fuck what it is. It's good. That's all that matters. But don't put me down because that's the way we were born and raised. Same thing with crabs. When you make crab, some people say crab sauce. I get it. That's okay. That's even okay. That's passable. I'm not going to argue.
Sure.
We call it crab gravy.
Yeah.
But the Sunday gravy with meatball, braciole, spare ribs, pig's feet, pig skin.
Sure, pig's feet. Yeah, I used to love pig skin with the hard-boiled egg in, with the toothpick.
Forget it.
You know, I listen.
But that's the difference.
Steve Martorano's favorite dish.
Linguine and clams.
There you go.
You got a minute for like a 3-minute story?
Yeah, come on.
I don't know if you keep it.
Of course, no, take it
how
down.
My life changed cooking.
I would love to hear it.
In Philly, I didn't have no restaurant experience, never worked in a restaurant, never was taught, never went to business school. All I know is cook like your mother cooked, right? So we used to grow up eating Progresso clam juice. Progresso.
Yeah,
in
I remember,
can,
the blue can,
I
right?
would drink, because even today, if there's a can in my house, I'll eat that motherfucker right out of the can. That's how much I like Progresso. And your mother used Cantaluna macaroni. It was made in America. They rinsed it off. Like, that's what you were born and raised on. So I would pre-cook my macaroni in Philly, and I didn't even have marinara sauce. I made a Sunday gravy. I would saute shrimp, put the gravy in it. Who the fuck knows? It was red. It was a typical Italian kind of thing. Me and a friend of mine go to New York City. We're on Mulberry Street. I see a line around the corner from Berto's Clam House that was on the corner. Yeah. I said to my friend, "What the fuck they giving away?" He said, "It's 6 a.m. She said, they're having they're truckers. They're going to have clams. I can't be that good. We only go back 2 o'clock." I walk in. I sit on the counter. I order linguine clams. I see this guy shuck a clam. I see the guy throw salt in the water. I see a guy get the Checo macaroni. I see him drop in the pot. I see him frying garlic to a light toasted brown with olive oil, red pepper flake, and parsley. I see him pour the clam juice in it, put a lid on it, took the macaroni out. He didn't toss it. They just put it in the bowl back then, and they poured the sauce. Changed my... I went home and I shut everything down. We're not cooking like this no more. What are you talking about? We got to cook everything to order. Every cut of pot. Steve, how are we going to do that? 5 different pots? 5 different pots. We're not having gravy with shrimp. We're making a marinara sauce. When I got into talking to the guy, Sierra Manzano tomatoes, I didn't know nothing.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That changed. If I didn't go to Umberto's, who knows how I'd be cooking, and I probably wouldn't be in the business today. That's a true story. Umberto's Clam House, the original, showed me how to do linguine clams or cook right in a restaurant.
I used to go to Umberto's all the time. One of my favorite spots, I'll tell you.
Never got the hot sauce.
Yeah.
I understood hot, medium. It was always dark, like cooked too much.
I remember the 66 WFAN. It was a sports radio in New York. It's actually, I think, by ESPN now. There's a guy named, I don't think he's a broadcaster anymore, spent many years, named Joe Patingo. So Umberto's would take an ad out. You got to hear this ad. He'd be like, Umberto's, and he would go on Clam House. You got to go there for the, give like a little ad. And I loved it.
House was the best.
Oh, I loved it. I used to go there all the time. I love the atmosphere. I love the culture. I love the way they treated me. Right, I want to be honest with you. One thing I'm real proud about, and then when I talk about restaurants, everywhere I go now, I meet people. We go eat. We go talk about business. So food is a way of life. Right. I sit down. I go. I've eaten all over because you got to sit and talk. Right. It's such a beautiful excuse.
Right. It's beautiful, isn't it?
You know what I mean?
Sit and talk. Have a good meal. Everybody comes together. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's why it should be like that in a restaurant. So when the kids are playing with their things and it's loud, I tell them, shut it off. Or you got to leave. Shut it off.
Friday night, Saturday night, Fort Lauderdale, Martorano's.
Nightclub.
Turns into a fucking nightclub.
What's up? I used to be a DJ.
Because the fedora comes out.
No, no fedora.
The feather. I see the fedora once in a while.
Not when I'm working here. But what's really growing even bigger than us is my wife's cake company called Lily Cakes.
Yeah, Lily Cakes. Yep.
There's the plan of action.
I think I see the key lime pie. There's like a strawberry cheesecake, red velvet.
Not Italian cookies, not Italian desserts, all American desserts. And it's named after my mother, whose name was Lillian, and her grandmother, which name was Lillian. So she put Lily Cakes. We have them in all our restaurants, but the casual, it's going to be that next to a Lily Cakes bakery. So we're going to have 2 things, which is going to be great. So you'll be able to come and get the desserts and get food to go. Yeah.
Martorano's, Lily Cakes, Joey's Italian Kitchen. I mean, listen, there's a lot. It's funny because we go from the beginning of a young baby. Steve Martorano came out as 14 pounds, 20 ounces, had to be a C-section, big boy. But I say, he is a big teddy bear, and I mean that. And what I mean by that is your heart is pure gold. This is your calling. Sometimes we don't understand, Sometimes we don't understand why things happen the way they happen. I'll be honest with you. A lot of episodes that I've done before, sometimes, they're so pure conversations, people will, things will happen, people will cry, or people that, this is the first time where I ever fucking had a tear come to my eye. And the reason, and I mean that in a sad way, I want to say in a happy way, that when you hear Lily Cakes, when you hear Martorano's expanding, and when you hear, Joey's Italian Kitchen coming, you know, what that is called never giving up. You know, never ever stop believing in you, because he won't want that. He won't want that. No, he wants this right here to be bigger and bigger. You know, and that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna take it to the next level. And that's what, you know, that's another reason why I wanted to come here, because, you know, and sit down with you and do an episode and let people know who the fuck Martorano's is, but more importantly, who Steve Martorano is. More than somebody yo cuz, more than a meatball salad, more than a bucatini, okay? More than a gravy. We also have to understand how hard it is, you know, for somebody to get up every day. We talk about the Bronx Tale. The working man is the tough guy. You know, that's what it's about. You know, making something out of nothing. Cause Martorano's is just your last name. What the fuck we talking about? These people love the fucking restaurant.
People bring their little kids and they want to come and take a picture of me because the parents showed them the video. That gets me through the day. But what this brand does, and I don't know if there's other brands out there, I constantly put people out there that if you need prayer, you direct message me and I'll pray for you. I'll say a rosary for you. Do you know? They go, well, how many guys working for you, like, or to help you? Ain't nobody helping me. I answer every single prayer request and I pray for them. You know how many people come in here and say to me, Steve, your prayers helped? I didn't do shit. God's doing it. But, you know, just praying for them.
But you're taking the time to pray for them.
Well, that everybody thinks it's a thing, you know, just a thing, and it's not. Which is a brand that cares about people and wants to help people and inspire people not to give up and keep moving forward.
I mean, the journey has been special and it's still going. I mean, I keep on saying this, but we're gonna leave off with two things. It's impossible to put somebody's journey in one episode, but I'll tell you, this was powerful. Even just to hear how you push through, how everyone here is treated, right? The homes, people getting home, wanting to do better for people. The Ferrari talk. Cuz, this is a great conversation, you know?
It's real, right?
No, but I'm saying it's a great conversation. You know, two things we're going to leave with, because this is what I feel as you would want to give to the people. Two things. First, I want you to speak to someone right now who is trying things out. Maybe you got a restaurant, couple of tables, I don't know, maybe it's doing well, sometimes not doing well. What's some advice you would give to them?
First of all, do not concern yourself with what other people are doing. You're not concerned about what another business or you think your competition is. The only competition you have is yourself. Embrace competition because it keeps you on your toes. You don't want to be the only guy in the neighborhood. Don't give up on that dream that you have, and don't compromise. Do not compromise for anybody. If there's 100 people saying you're doing something wrong and you know in your gut you're doing it right, you continue to do what's right. Do not change for anybody. Quality is the key. Biggest key, then that is the small details. Do not pass up on small details. Things like the bathroom, people go into the bathroom to see, I go, if its bathroom is dirty, now, if I go in, there's 15 towels, I'm going to give them 10 minutes to go clean it. I'll go back to see. But keep things clean and treat your workers with respect, and don't compromise your product because somebody wants you to change it. Stick to your gut, and just stick to your gut and keep God in the center of your life and pray the rosary.
Pray the rosary, cuz. You know, listen, I don't know how much more there is to say, but I will say I want you to make sure, if you've never been to Martorano's, come here. Not because you only want to eat, for the experience, right? For the experience to understand, you know, how this man is cooking, making people happy. You know? Mom, dad, your son.
The biggest compliment people give you is this. It reminds me. Reminds me of my grandmother. Reminds me of my... You can't get it better. What goes up my ass is the meatball lady who says, my meatballs are better than yours. How many did you make? I made 30. I just made 400. You made 30. You tried to tell me yours is better than mine? Oh, you crazy?
Listen, okay? Martorano's, Lauderdale, Pittsburgh, Atlantic City, Vegas, and coming soon. All hot. Cuz the one and only, the legendary, okay?
Real deal right here, cuz.
Steve Martorano.